Yesterday, I played in the Susan E. Kantor Fall Open 2024 at the Cumberland County Chess Club, and it was 5 rounds. The first two were short; they were only 30-minute games, and the last two were 60-minute games, with each with delay 5. So I'm gonna walk you through my 5 games I played, and we'll get into it. It does say I'm 717 rated. That is my current rating officially. It will update on November 1st, and if I had not played in this tournament, the rating would have been 1073. I'm not sure if it'll go up or down after this one, but let's get into it. I'll show you how it went. So we started off with e4, and he played the Caro-Kann defense. So then I went for the Panov attack, and he played knight c6 here. And so apparently I was supposed to take. I like either of those two moves, and I wasn't really sure which to do. So I played that one, just adding another defender on this pawn. And after this, when he puts the pin here, I'm pretty sure you're supposed to play your bishop out. He defended that, so here I just traded so we could both get this isolated queen's pawn. And I played my knight out. So now we just have 4 knights out. He has a pin, but I have my bishop on e2, and so I pinned him back. So we have a exactly symmetrical position here. We both castled, and I played my queen up, which allows this move, and I considered that earlier, but I thought it didn't work. But I think now it did, because now he can threaten the queen and force me not just to be able to take here. So we did, and he ended up just up a pawn, because after takes, he wins this extra pawn. Instead, he took the file first, then did that. And I played here, trying to kick his queen out or something, and he can't do en passant because I'll take the queen. But he just checked me, played here. And here I went for the queen trade, which lets him get a passed pawn 2 away from promotion, which was very foolish. So I tried to come block it, and he just pushed. Because I can't take. Because once he takes, I can't recapture, because that's back rank checkmate. So I had to come back. He played here, and this was another oversight. I thought I could defend this pawn. He just took, because if I take that rook, he's going to promote. And I can't take the queen, because that's back rank checkmate. So instead I had to come back and lose the other pawn. Now here I finally got my king off to where I can't get back ranked. But it was just too late, because he now has another pawn that's about to promote, because he got rid of these 2 pawns here. So he played check, took that pawn. I won this pawn, but now he's able to push. And even though I can trade, he can force a rook exchange and push this pawn, and there's nothing I can do to stop it. And here we hit 5 minutes remaining, so I stopped notating. But here, he took and got a queen and ended up coming over and checkmating me. So that was unfortunate, but it does happen. Kind of a short first round. The games felt kind of rushed. I'm not a big fan of that time control, but my opponent was a good guy. We talked after the game. He was really nice, and he deserved the win. That was well played. He found a good tactic and converted it well. So it was kind of a bad round 1, but let's see what happened in round 2. Round 2, I had the black pieces, and I was facing Noah Bogus, I believe. I don't know how to pronounce that. He's a student at Tennessee Tech, and whenever we do the collegiate tournament, I guess, I don't know what it's called, but we're having a inter-college competition soon, and I'll be seeing him again. But he played d4, and I've been studying the East Indian, or the Nimzo Indian before this tournament. But he played this, which I had not really studied, but I just tried to play the same principles. He let me get a big center with c5, and I was happy with this, because I was able to take and just win a pawn here, because he was trying to get this in and defend this, but it's just, he's too slow. I win this exchange, which I did. And here he played that, but I just put another attacker on. Here he just castled out of the way, and I was able to, oh, I just castled also. I guess I'm surprised I didn't take there just to simplify, but I guess I like the pressure on. Yeah, so here he's just simplifying down. Pretty, I don't know, not advantageous for him since I'm up a pawn. But he moved this out, and I just traded again. I have a pretty big advantage here, so I was just trying to get my bishop out. I didn't like having his knight here, but I couldn't find a way to stop it, so I just had to do this. And he played this. The only real thing he had good in this position is that he had this pin, so I couldn't do anything. But I still have more defenders on this than he has attackers, especially once I scoot over here. And he traded there, and I was perfectly fine with this. I traded rooks because I knew he would try and exchange and have this passed pawn, which was dumb because I only have one rook to do anything with it. Instead, I think if I had taken with this, then all my pawns are together, which is better on a 4v3 than a 3v3 with one passed pawn that can be taken, which is something I need to work on because whenever you have a passed pawn here, it's not as good as having a passed pawn here. And I always try and isolate one, and I have got to do better about realizing a 4-on-3 is better than a 3-on-3 and a 1 over here that can be stopped. So I did play that, and he brought his rook out, I brought mine out, and here I saw he had a bunch of checks. Like, for example, if I went here, you could take this. I thought about going here and here and trying to win this pawn, but I didn't like how he could, like, go here. I wasn't a fan of it. It was probably fine. But, okay. Huh. Yeah, it says he has a little bit of advantage there. But I just played here to defend that pawn. He played that. I was a little bit confused about that because I was expecting him to come back and check me and try and, like, do a bunch of checks and stuff. Because I can't take, obviously, because he'll win. But he didn't do that. Instead, he played there. And I was a little bit confused. And then he played that. And I had thought, I don't remember what it is I thought. Oh, I know what it was. Here I was scared because I wanted to go here just to get rid of that check. But I thought he could play here and sacrifice his rook to win, I think. Let me see if that actually works. Yeah. So he just wins a pawn there. Interesting. So that's what I was seeing. So I didn't move there. Instead, I played rook d8. And he played there, targeting this pawn and this pawn. But here, I thought if I just pushed and tried to get all the way there, then he could take whatever he wanted, and I'm just going to be able to win. And I was right, so he moved his knight back. I just moved my pawn out of the way and threatened this. Just started making moves. And here, I was low on time. I probably had about 10 or 7 minutes or so, but I had a lot of chess to be played, and there was no increment. So I was really kind of in a rush, and I calculated this, and I thought, oh, well, takes, push, he's not in the box, he can't stop me. Except he doesn't have to take. He can scoot over and stop my pawn, and now he has a passed pawn. And no matter what I did, it says it's a draw, but I came over there trying to stop it. Came back down. And around here, I stopped notating, but he was just able to get his pieces in. And the game was pretty much over. He ended up being able to push this down and trade and promote. And I lost my second game in a row to an unrated player who I should not have lost to, quite frankly. I mean, I think I'm a better chess player than him. But he used his time well, calculated the exchange better than I did, and converted it well. So fair play. And I was now 0-2 against one solid player and one player I should have been able to beat. But it just was what it was. But then we started getting into the game 60s. These were games that were quite a bit longer. And I was playing against Jackson Elliott, another unrated player. He had 0 wins. I was like, all right, well, I just got to lock in and do well. And he said it was his first tournament. What else did he say? He said he didn't really play online, so I was already kind of like, So I played e4, got into the Roy Lopez, which is my main opening. First time I've been able to play it in a tournament in a long time, like since I've started doing tournaments again. So I was happy with that. He played this, which is fine. He took. And I remembered my best move there that I looked into. The computer says rook e1. I like d4. It's a little bit more aggressive. And he played this, which is a blunder because it lets me do this. And obviously this is pinned by this piece. So I'm just able to win the knight there. Well, maybe not. Because if I guess not. He can kick me out. I don't know. It seems like a blunder. Instead, I took here. And he tried to pin me there. I just played rook e3 because I figured he would move out of the way somewhere. And I could take here with check. That's exactly what happened. And this was just an atrocious move. I mean, blocking with your bishop, you just straight up hang it unless you want to give away your queen. This is pinned. Oh, sorry. This is pinned. So it was something else. So I took there. And in this position, I'm like, all right, I'm completely winning. Let me just trade down. And that's what I did. And here he's trying to win this pawn. But I just played this. And he pushed there, which was a bad move because my idea that I'd wanted to do was putting my queen here and threatening mate and winning this. But this was stopping me. But he moved that out of the way, so I was able to do it. And he came here trying to threaten me and stop mate. But instead, I just took the knight. He played there, and I was like, all right, I'm up 8 points of material. I'm just going to trade down and develop so he doesn't have back rank ideas anymore. And he played here, trying to threaten this pawn. Except that's check, and that's checkmate. So that was a pretty easy game. I won that in 18 moves pretty effortlessly, but got some points on the score sheet there. And I went out, had some lunch, felt better, came back, and we had game 4. I do not know how to pronounce this man's name. Alexandre Mascarenhas. I'm very sorry if I butchered that. I'm not sure. But all my opponents were really nice. I talked to all of them. We were all friendly. But this was a good game. I was a fan of this game. And I started with e4. And he played the Sicilian, which I also had not faced, I don't believe, in any of these tournaments. Even though I guess this is only my second tournament. But I hadn't faced in the Tennessee Open either. Even though it was one of the main things I studied. So I played the anti-Sicilian, the Alapin Sicilian. He played knight out, and I just traded. I got 2 central pawns, and I was doing fine. I hadn't seen this move before. I figured he was going to try to make a push here. But I just played my natural moves, and I traded, so we both have that isolated queen's pawn that are in a lot of positions that I play. And I developed the other knight, and I'm fine here. He played his other knight, so it's like we were basically playing the 4 knights opening, except neither of us have a C or E pawn. I guess 4 knights is an E pawn thing. I don't know. We had all 4 knights out. And so I pinned him. He unpinned himself. I castled. Moved my rook over. Just basic developing things. I didn't want him to be able to get this pin because I think that did a lot more damage. Sorry. Because I think that did a lot more damage to me. So I played h3 here. Moved my bishop out. And here, I could have rerouted, but I noticed I had a lot of things pointed at this king side. I had this over here. I was going to move my queen up. I had these knights able to jump in. I figured he was going to make a push over here and try and kick my knight out so I could reroute and join the attack. So instead I played bishop d3, just targeting this king side even more. And sure enough, he played there. So I used the tempo to move here, backing up my bishop. He kicked my knight out, and I was able to reroute. So now if you look where all my pieces are pointing, every single one is pointed over at this king side. I mean, all of these guys can jump in this attack here. It is just going to be... I was looking for sacrifices also. I was looking for a way to get him out of the way, and I could try and do something here maybe. I didn't know. But those are the ideas I was thinking of. Here he played queen b6, and so his idea was he's going to threaten this piece and win the pawn. And I could have just defended that by moving my bishop out of the way and defending the pawn. But instead I played here, because I had a funny idea that I was going to play this, pretending I hang the pawn, and then deliver check and win the queen. That was my idea there. It was kind of some hope chess, which is not the smartest to play, but I also thought it was a solid defensive move. It kind of caused me problems, but I kind of liked it. And he played there, which I thought was a little bit slow. So I moved this piece in, thinking I could get this trade, and then that defends this again. And then I have this big attack going over here. I get rid of this bishop. I thought it was good. I also had another idea here that I was thinking of with this move. And you'll see what it is next move, because I ended up playing it. He played there. And he told me after the game, his idea was hoping I would take and then play this, I believe. Skewering these two. I would never ever do that in a million years. Even if I didn't have a tactic here, I would have played this. Stopping that idea. Anyways, the point is, I didn't play those two. Instead, I had a brilliant move, and I spotted it. Knight takes g7. Like, oh, well, that just hangs the knight. Well, queen check. And no matter where he moves, let's say he moves here, takes, 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 king g8, and you're completely winning. The computer even... I probably would not have spotted this move. Apparently, there's this. And no matter what, that's mate. I did not see that part, quite frankly. I did not. And instead, I saw here, I'm up in exchange no matter what. Right? Like, let's say I just play something like if I just played here, I'm just completely winning. Like, this is just borderline over. Alternatively, if he'd moved here, takes, 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 this is completely, there's no mate, but it's completely winning, and I'm threatening mate. Like, let's say he takes here, that's checkmate. So even though I didn't see a checkmate here, I thought that was completely winning, and it was. I was right. So he played this. I didn't expect that move, but oh my god, he was threatening the queen. So I just moved my queen here, thinking I'm going to take this rook, and I have two mate threats. He can't stop both. He did. He stopped it by doing that. Apparently, bishop takes e4 here is mate in 7. I don't see how, but I mean, I would never have found that. But I took the rook, thinking I'm just up in material now. I played bishop back here, and I was hoping he would take, so I had mate here. Apparently that's not the fastest way to mate. Queen h6 check. King g8 check. Bishop h7 check. King h8. Bishop g6 check. What in the world? Who would have found that? Okay, well, never mind. But I was hoping he would take that so I could take this pawn. Instead, he played there, and I played my knight out to go capture that. He threatened my queen, and I just retreated. But my thought process here was, I'm completely winning. I don't need to give him any chances. The computer says I'm only winning by a little bit. I mean, I'm up a rook for a knight in a winning endgame. I feel like this is completely fine. I took there, he took, and here I wanted to trade down, and of course that was better because now he It has no rook. He took the pawn, but I delivered check and started pushing pawns over here. The idea here is if he gives up this, then I can take this. So he pushed. I just started winning pawns. And he was down a lot on time because he had thought so much during that knight sacrifice on how to stay alive. So he was probably down to like, let me actually look on the score sheet. What is this move, 37? Yeah, he was down to about 15 seconds. Or no, probably about 45 seconds. It was 15 after a couple moves later when I played here. Letting him get the pawn, but being able to come back and defend. And here he had 1 second on the clock. Truly, 1 second. And we had delay 5, so he had to make moves within 5 seconds, and he played here, which is a blunder. Because now, no matter what he does, I'm going to do this, and he's having to make every move instantly. He's not notating, but I was. Went over here. I still had 39 minutes on the clock, and I went here. Controlling this, he can never move past this file again, and I'm going to get opposition and come down and deliver checkmate eventually. And he resigned. So that was a pretty great game by me, I would say. I could have done some things better, been more smooth, but I would say overall for a round 4 against a 1,000 player, I think that was pretty solid. And so now we have round 5. I had 2 out of 4 wins. Kind of a tournament. I played Thomas R. Rink. I was the black pieces. And again, we had this Indian game that I've been studying, but he had apparently it's called the anti-Nimzo Indian variant. And he pushed there. I did not expect that at all. I was like, what are you doing? Because I feel like this move, and I talked about a move similar to this with Adam, who is the person from our chess club who's like the best player. He says in a position like this just to play here. So that's exactly what I did, and that was the correct move because you're threatening now. If he takes, you're going to open up your rook. And I was not expecting him to go here. And I thought, well, that's just kind of lame. I'm going to just play my bishop out. And then at this point, I'm like, all right, well, you're either going to trade or you're not. And he didn't. So I went for the hippo. And that Adam guy always says, don't play the hippo, don't play the hippo. You need to find something better. Well, oh my God. I gave him an option to open the position here. He didn't want it. So I just completely locked down the board like I would in my hippo games. And was fully prepared to go here, here, here. And just play the hippopotamus after playing an actual opening. Which was hilarious. But he got this break here. And I didn't want to take because that gives him everything. So instead I just played bishop out. And I was hoping... I think I played bishop out. Oh, no. Because that's... Okay. If he takes here and here... Well, no, I get... Okay. Time out. If he takes here and here and here, I have to take with this and he wins this pawn. So I played bishop here to defend. He took, and now he has this passed pawn. He's going to play here. He's going to play here. But he pushed early, and I thought, I knew whenever he played that it was too early, because he's going to have a hard time defending this now that there's nothing supporting it. So I played there. He played this to do that. I played bishop d6. And there I was like, what? Because I thought about it for a second, and I just assumed he had some sort of mate he'd calculated. And I thought, oh, so he basically has a fork here, and I can't take because he has mate. So I thought, I'm like, okay, well, I can play this and lose the rook, blah, blah, blah. And I thought about it again. I said, okay, so what happens if I do take? Wait, what does happen if I do take? Queen check, I just block. Bishop check, I just take. Rook here, I just take. queen f6. I was like, you don't have a mate threat. My king is in the middle of the board, but I have an easy defensive square to get to. You just threw away a knight to get my king 2 squares up. So I just prepared here so he can't push. Played my knight here to block anything from ever being able to defend that. And if he takes, then this is now a possibility to open this bishop up, and I have my own passed pawn, which is exactly what happened. And here, I thought, okay, well, he just put this on the same file, but he's going to pin me, but I'm just fine, which is exactly what happened. So I don't actually win anything, but, I mean, this is a dominant position here. I ended up trading there. I threw away a pawn because I realized he didn't have any threats. Here he's trying to win this pawn, but if he does, I'm just going to push for mate. So here I'm trying to go here, here, and here, basically. But he gets rid of the check. So instead I just take a pawn. I'm fully prepared to play this move, being able to promote or win his rook. He checks me, and I play here, forcing him to trade. He played this, and here I laughed out loud and told him, I said, that'd be a kind of crappy way to lose because this is checkmate. So I didn't play this, but that would be hilarious if I was winning that whole game and played that. But anyways, I didn't. I played smarter than that. Traded and promoted to queen. He checked me. I moved out of the way, and he resigned because he did not have anything in this position. I was about to go and deliver some checks, or whatever. I was about to win this game. So he resigned, and that was 3 out of 5 wins, which after that abysmal start was not that bad. But, could have been better, but certainly could have been a whole lot worse. Thank you for watching. My next tournament, I believe, is November 2nd, so quite a bit away. But thank you for watching. Subscribe to keep up with my tournaments and my improvement. Thank you. See you.